Hello, my name is Madeline Luckell, and I'm the design editor here at AD. I want to start by welcoming you all to this session of our AD Pro Global Design Summit, New Trends, New Perspectives, Redefining Luxury One Detail at a Time, and by thanking our sponsor, Monogram Luxury Appliances. I would also really like to ask you both to tell us a little bit more about the Monogram Professional range. I'd love to hear about its research and development process and what exactly makes it so different from your other products.
Yeah, I mean, we are incredibly excited about our professional range. I mean, I have to say it's been a labor of love for probably 3 years. And so we did a lot of just, consumer and designer research and trying to understand like how are our owners interacting with a range? How are they, how does that perform? How is that, what does that look like? And so we did a lot of that to really understand. And what we found, what I thought was really interesting, is that there was, this range and control of temperature. So you have some versatility became really important. And so, that became something that was super important for us as we continue to work on the range. The other thing is that we've been able to bring to market this what we're calling a true temp burner. And this burner is not only, dual stacked and multi-ring, but what happens is that it's the first industry exclusive and first to market around being able to really precisely control temperature. And so what happens is that we're effectively bringing a induction precision to a gas burner. And so that's going to be really nice. You'll have a range of temperature to be able to do something super low with delicate sauces, all the way up to the really high heat searing that you want to really kind of make your food sing. The other thing that I would say is that precision cooking is going to be really important. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the True Temp burner, and that, with this precision cooking, we have it integrated with our guided cooking. And so what will happen is that it will tell you precisely what you need to do. So for instance, if I don't know about you guys, but I love scallops, but I always end up turning them into rubber. And so with the True Temp, as well as with the precision cooking, when I put my scallops in the pan and I connect it with my Smart HQ app, it's going to tell me exactly when I need to move and sear my scallops, so they'll turn out perfectly. And so I think, those are some of the things that we're super excited about, but I think we're really excited. Of course, I think you saw we're honored and thrilled that we were able to have the Great Design Award for this particular pro range. And like I said, it's got innovation on so many different levels.
Definitely. And Richard, did you have any thoughts to share on this?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, being on the design side, I really kind of geek out on the aesthetics of the new range. I think that, again, it's just hit such more of a refined, tailored look. But we're really also hitting that really beautiful note of mixed material story. So as we know, stainless steel has been around for quite some time. It does speak to that professional grade appliance, but we developed truly these beautiful solid brass accents. So you can see those solid brass knobs on the front of the range really just bring a little more depth to the overall palette of the range. You also have solid brass on the cooktop as well, which not only is it beautiful, but it actually conducts heat better. So there's a practical nature to it as well. This single window on the front, when you look at those dual ovens, we're often dealing with an asymmetrical aesthetic, but we really took the time to develop, a much more refined aesthetic. So we have this full single window. The LCD screen is beautiful. There was a lot of thought process put into not only the functional aspects of it, but again, the beauty factor, the photography of the food and the things that have been taken into account, I think are really special. And then to further kind of highlight in the knobs on the range, not only do you have the beautiful brass, but you can see that wonderful texture on the background behind the knobs. And taking that one step further, there's actually integrated LED lighting within those knobs as well. And you actually have, with the power of an app on your phone, the ability to change the color temperature of that lighting. So for me, in design, I'm very much tried and true to a true 2700 color temperature, a beautiful white warm light. and you can, adapt to that, or you can go much more on that cooler, brighter light, or even into colors, if that's what you're into. So there's definitely a personal aspect to the range as well, that we wanted to really bring to life, to let people know that, cooking becomes very personal to you, your family, your home, right? And so this appliance really highlights that on a further level.
And Julie, I just wanted to ask you, for all the decorators and designers listening, what type of client do you think that this product might be best for?
Yeah, I think for Monogram, I mean, one of the things that we take a lot of pride in is really kind of understanding, what our consumers want, what our owners want, what designers are providing feedback. And so, for us, when we think about it, we did a lot of research. We found out, who is that Monogram consumer? And when we think about it, this particular consumer is, affluent, but certainly not extravagant. And what I mean by that is that, they're going to be really thoughtful. They're going to be very purposeful in terms of, how they're going to invest in everything that they're doing. The other thing that's really important, and we talked a little bit earlier about how the kitchen is your heart and your hub. Our owners are very active in the kitchen. And so that is going to be something that we're going to want to make sure that whatever it is that we're developing from an appliances perspective, that we can make that really seamless for them. So that as they're active in their kitchen and they're entertaining, not just, from a entertaining with friends and family perspective, but even if they're just at home, you want to be able to have something that is really seamless and makes things easier for them. The other thing is that everything that we've chosen, not just on the range, but frankly, any of the appliances that we have, is that it was just very purposeful. That there's a reason for everything that we have. And we found that our owners are like that as well. Some of the interviews that we were doing with some of our owners was just that, you would end up seeing a particular vase in their kitchen. You're like, oh, that is a beautiful vase. And what they would say is going, oh, it's great. I just got that when I was traveling to Italy. And so there's a story behind everything that they're doing. And that's why it just sits so well with Monogram and start in terms of who we are and everything that we strive for in terms of the pillars that we have. I mean, for us, it's everything that we're doing is about enduring materials and, an unparalleled performance with everything, as well as just making sure that we can deliver on an owner experience that really is just second to none for these folks.
Definitely. And I that just makes me think I can't wait to be able to travel again and to have those special trips to places like Italy. I'm curious too, just thinking more about this product, it seems to, strike such a great balance in terms of its taste, and it's, it kind of doesn't go overboard in any sense. And that really makes me think too of how technologically savvy it is. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about that, and even just elaborate about, how you incorporate tech into products. And of course that can go far beyond this range.
Yeah, so I think, one of the things that might surprise folks is that how much we think about, the technology and what does that look like. And so, continue to improve the platforms that we're on. And, some folks might be surprised by that. But for instance, all of our appliances are Wi-Fi enabled. And so what that means is that we can connect it to our Smart HQ app. And there's a few different functions there from a benefits perspective. And so I think one is just being able to do some of the things if you're thinking about, you want to preheat your oven, because when you get home, you want to be able to just go ahead and put whatever it is that you need in the oven. So you can do that. The other thing is that any of the precision cooking. So we're going to allow some of the things with Wi-Fi to be able to go ahead and push new recipes. So as we're developing things in our test kitchen and recipes, that we can push those right to you, and then you'll have everything that you need in terms of exactly what you need to do. And because of that technology, what effectively it means is that we're just going to continue to make our appliances better over time. So getting back to some of the things we were talking about earlier in terms of this is an investment and you want to make sure you're making a right decision, that this technology is going to allow you to make sure that you're always up to speed. You've got all of the convenience that you need to. One of our other things that we have with one of our wall ovens is that we've got voice to open. So again, just how do we make things easier? I'm sure you guys have all experienced when you have a big Thanksgiving turkey, for instance, and you're trying to get it into the oven. How great would it be to say, please open the wall oven, and it just opens up and you can slide it right in. So just those are some of the ways in which we're thinking about it and how we just continue to push the envelope to make sure that technology is used in a very seamless way to make that experience for our owners better.
Yeah, absolutely. Richard, did you have any last thoughts that you wanted to share on the topic?
Well, I think, something that Julia was kind of mentioning, the idea of the wall oven series, outside of the beautiful showpiece range, there are two brand new collections through Monogram, the Statement Collection and the Minimalist Collection. And they, as we touched on earlier, they both have really adapted very well to that cleaner line. The Statement Collection is much more in that transitional aesthetic, and with some beautiful brass accents. And then the Minimalist Collection is something that I'm kind of most excited about visually, just because I think it's our most visual progressive product. It's the true art of reductionism. The fact that there are virtually no lines on the product. It's as streamlined as possible. We actually have with that a handleless oven. That's our X series oven that's coming to the market. So there's no question that I would encourage people to just kind of see the new breadth of product offering, because I think across the board it's visually stunning.